Hello, and welcome to Let's Ride Around Europe. It's day 6, Wednesday, and we're on our way from Frankfurt to Stuttgart. Look at that. That's what the hell? I forgot to just quickly check you guys. There we go. Done. Just in case there are bugs. This is Mossback. For those of you who watched the last episode, I just kept back across the bridge from Obrigheim and turned back onto the road along the Neckar because I wanted to skip any town that might have been on this road, but it looked like there wasn't any. I've just done a charge, got like 84%. And yeah, that was kind of like my halfway charge on the way to Stuttgart. So I've not got another one, and I'm doing pretty good on time. So that's all good. The weather is also stunning, although if you watched the previous episode, you will be aware that it's very hot. I have just had 1.5 Powerades, and I still have the other half in here, and also like a whole Coke Zero if I feel like it. But hopefully it will not be so hot that I need to take that. However, we do have a split point, so if it becomes necessary I will stop and have something to drink, because I don't want to repeat 2020 again. I'm going to be a good boy. I'm going to take care of my physical needs on this trip. See some interesting stuff coming. These little houses up the side of the valley. It's pretty cool. The valley looks terraced actually. I'm not sure what's up with that. I guess it might be an orchard of some kind because it's trees. Colourful power transition cables. Unusual in my experience to see them in red and white. Usually just unpainted grey. They didn't really stand out in that colour actually. You got this tower up there, it looks like there's a little complex around it, might be a little castle. That's pretty cool. And there was a sort of a tower house somewhere down here, which I suspect is an old railway building. Like a signal box. Kind of has that look to it. It's a nice little church. Oh yeah, look at that with the solar panels. It's good. Bahnhof. So the train station's up there. That'll be that building there. Yeah, that'll be the Bahnhof. Looks all boarded up. That's a shame. And the railway still goes through here, but yeah, this is the building I was thinking looked like a railway control tower, but it's not. That actually looks like a grain silo or something. And there's like up in the hills a castle. Look at the castle. Kind of gonna be on the point where I can actually look at it. It looks quite nice actually. It's just not possible for me to look offline enough to show you. Yeah, what a lovely day. Let's see if we can get past this guy. There is a suspension bridge just kind of ahead. Looks like a cable stable. Yeah, look at that. Nice. I like this stuff. Tunnel up there, but I think it's just for the trains. Yeah, it looks like it's just for the trains. Goes just to the right of it. Yeah, it does. So you're probably wondering, is this just going to be one of those episodes where I ramble on trying to fill the time? No, actually, I do actually have something down to talk about. It's just not a story. It's actually something that is topical right now, dating this video. I mean, this video is dated anyway, it's August 2022. But there's a big shake-up happening in sort of the VR world at the moment. Or at least the parts of the VR world I'm particularly exposed to. Where essentially VR chat has screwed itself by suddenly becoming like really anti-community. They banned mods. They started like using EAC, which is an anti-cheat thing that doesn't work very well. And they went after some like emulators, and there is not concerned that they're actually going to go after the AD community, which wouldn't be a smart move for them. The AD community is a very big part of the platform, as I understand it. Vines, nice. Look at this castle. It's pretty sweet. Second exit. Continuing with our policy, just repeating Google so that we don't get it wrong. Well, our policy, my policy. But yeah. So VR chat kind of screwed up there. A lot of people moving to Neos, whatever the other one is called, and it kind of just like made me think about VR a bit more than I normally would. My PC is ancient, and I don't really do a lot of modern gaming on it. I don't really do much gaming anymore at all. I do have VRC though. One of the reasons I have VRC is just a lot of people who I know use it, and sometimes it can be the only way to like get a chat with them. Like it's quite nice in that aspect to be able like to have a space you go and chat to people that has a definite presence rather than just being an always there textual chat room. But I've not really used it a whole bunch because like, my computer can't really handle it. Right? My computer can't really handle it in desktop mode, which is telling you a lot about my computer. And consequently, like the whole VR chat movement just kind of passed me by. I never really got that into it. I jump on occasion to talk to friends, usually like a specific friend who uses it quite much. And I never really paid attention to like the advanced stuff that was going on with VR chat because I couldn't do anything of it anyway. I've never spent any money on it. Kind of like with what's happening with it, I'm not likely to move to another like VR chatting application. Just because, I just don't use it very much. Maybe I will over the winter a little more, but yeah. I think the time when I needed it in order to communicate with people is past. But part of the reason I think it passed me by is just I never had the hardware to do VR on. I just never. I let my PC get very old, right? Basically, and then I had the money. I easily had the money. I mean, I've got this thing, and I bought a house, right? But I got this thing and I bought a house. Getting this thing was a bigger priority for me. Buying a house was a bigger priority for me. Buying a house was a really big priority. And like firstly, I would have had to buy an entirely new computer at a time when it was hard to buy an entirely new computer. And I would have had to get all of the VR equipment, and I just ended up not doing it. I just putting off and putting off and putting off, and now I'm just like, VR just passed me by. I've tried it. My ex has a VR setup. I played some on his. I played some Half-Life Alyx, which I really enjoyed. I'd love to finish that at some point. But in terms of actually having it myself, it's just that I've had other priorities, and it's just not been possible. And like, if I were buying a gaming box, I would get a VR box. I would get something that could do VR. I would get a good headset. Maybe like a Vive or an Index, one of those. But I think that's a lot of money, you know? I think that's a lot of money for something that I probably wouldn't be getting that much use out of. Like I put 1,000 miles on this bike in January, which should probably tell you what I think of cold weather riding. But yeah, I'm gonna have to get a video editing box at some point, and maybe when I do that I'll make sure it's got the chops to run some VR games. I don't like being stuck behind this truck.
In 400 meters, turn right.
Okay, hopefully he's not turning right up ahead. Ooh, okay, that's cool. Just get the whole town like right at the edge of the ridge. Look at some of those buildings. Wow, it's a fortified town. It's an old fortified town. That's cool. It's basically impossible to assault from this direction. Crossing the Neckar? Car. No. Okay, fine. It's also going left. Yeah, I'm mainly interested in what's happening in VR chat right now because I'm interested in like how they're screwing it up. Sorry, this is demanding my attention a little bit. But is this guy just not getting a gap in traffic? Oh, there's a traffic light. Okay. I'm just kind of interested in how they're screwing it up. And I'm wondering how much of it is money. You know, there does seem to come a point in a lot of these projects where, like, they just start doing mad shit. Like, they build up a community, and the community does all kinds of crazy stuff, crazy grid stuff, you know? And as soon as they get that community, they screw it up. Because they use that community to essentially sell themselves. And I can't help but wondering if, like, clamping down on mods and adding EAC is something that is a requirement of them being purchased. Because it doesn't make sense otherwise. Like, why would you choose to trash your community like that? Why would you choose to, like, why would you choose to alter your game in ways that make it less valuable to players? Especially because a lot of the mods that people are really crying out about losing are ones that made it accessible to people with difficulties using traditional interfaces. And you do kind of have to wonder just what prompted it, and was it money? Because these are the kind of things that investors demand. Like, investors aren't just like, oh yeah, you've got a great product with a great community, that's really valuable to us, we see a lot of future in the product that you have, and we're going to invest it in that business. No, they always want something. They're always like, oh, you've got a really great service and a great community, but what would make it better is, in our experience, you should do this and this and this, and that'll make it better, and also we can monetize it harder. And that is what ruins a thing like VR chat. So when an investor comes in and says, I'm going to give you guys money, but you're going to have to do this stuff. Because investors generally do not understand what makes something in VR chat good. I think that was the second example. Investors generally do not understand what it is that makes something like VR chat good. Oh, shed. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's just that the actual devs don't know what they're doing. That wouldn't be unsurprising. It's kind of not what I expect from the kind of people who build something like VR chat, though. VR chat seems to me to be the kind of thing where the people who work in it definitely do understand, like, what its values are and what people are getting out of it. Which is why I assume that this is being pushed as a corporate thing, as a money thing, you know, as an investor thing. Because that's where fleets came from on Twitter, if you remember. Fleets were added because an investor said, oh, you need to add fleets. So Twitter got fleets. Cornfields. It's kind of sad to see it go that way. Like it genuinely is, even though I don't really use it very much. It's sad to see a service that brings a lot of joy to people just completely screw up so bad, and in so short a time and so quickly. It really is both crazy to see it and sad to see it. And I don't know how they could roll back from that, you know? I really don't. They said they're going to change their... they're going to change their... Oh, my brain. Their roadmap. So they could change their roadmap to reintroduce like some of the accessibility features that they've removed by taking out mods. But I mean, how much of that is actually going to get done? How much of that is going to compensate for the loss of mods? There's some really creative mods out there. And they're not all AD stuff either. AD stuff has driven a lot of innovation in the VR chat space. I will say that. It's not a particular aspect of VR chat that I've really gotten into at all, because obviously, like, I'm a desktop user and I can't. I'm a desktop user and I can barely use the game as it is. Yeah, I do know that there has been a lot of innovation in the VR chat space, just from mods that have been developed by people who are doing like AD stuff. Aha! This is the Autobahn 6. And that is actually the end point of this episode. So, if you've got any comments, you know, if you've got things to say about VR chat more than I do, just head down into the comments section. It's right down there. I don't get enough. Would love to see them. If you like this video, give it a like. If you did like it, there are lots of other videos that I've got. You might like some of them. And if you do, generally speaking, consider subscribing and hit that bell. And if you'd like to reward me for entertaining you today, you can find my Ko-fi link in the description below. Bye-bye.